Nirvana, All Apologies here on the Morning After with Nic and Big J. It is 100.3 The X Rocks. You heard us talking about it, so you're going to hear us giving away some stuff for a very cool event that is happening in just a little over a week from now. It is Idaho Comedy Fest, the inaugural one that is happening here in the Treasure Valley. It's all happening at the Lounge at the End of the Universe. It's pretty impressive, the lineup of comedians they have coming into town and all the cool things that are happening. And it's going down May 20th through the 22nd. You can get more information at idahocomedyfest.com. And it is an honor and privilege to welcome back into the studio Jen with the Lounge. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah. It's been a full week since we last talked to you.
I know. It's so long.
And it was kind of like the rollout of how all this thing was coming together, and the lineup is starting to come together. It's all available. You can check out the, ridiculous amount of people that you have coming in.
Over 50 comedians.
It's pretty amazing that you were able to put it all together. But rehash the whole situation. How did this idea come up? Why did you guys decide to do it?
So the whole thing kind of started as a joke. There was an internet troll, and so in order to troll back, Donnie Zolden, who's the owner of Stand Up New York, made a joke like, well, we'll just come to a comedy festival in your hometown, and then a bunch of comedians started trying to apply for it, and he was like, I guess we should just do a festival, and then he called me out of the blue. And I was like, this sounds like fun. It's like, and I was like, why do you want to do a festival? And they were like, well, out of spite. And I was like, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. That sounds like a blast.
Reason to do anything.
Right, but then of course it just got bigger than that, and we just realized the industry suffered so much when COVID happened. Not just all the comedians' financial issues, but emotionally, it was just hard for all of us. We couldn't do what we do.
Right.
And so I think this is a great way for all of us to come together and have community again, and also make the entire Treasure Valley laugh.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And, of course, we've also talked about how serious you're taking the COVID stuff as well. I mean, while it started as a joke, and obviously it's great to have things, happening and events going on, we want to make sure it stays that way. So you guys aren't messing around with that either.
Yeah, listen, if you are worried about coming, just know that we have been stockpiling cases of rubbing alcohol. We have spray bottles and an entire team of volunteers. We've staggered all the shows. That they start a half an hour from when one ends, another one starts, and in that half an hour, we send the army of sanitizers in. They spray everything down and wipe it with rubbing alcohol. And then we do bathroom rounds. So
Sure.
Every 20 to 30 minutes, somebody is going around to all the bathrooms spraying flush handles and sink handles and where people push the door open and everything. The festival passes are masks. So you'll need to have that in order to get into the festival in the first place. That was Donnie. I can't take credit for that. We were on a call and we were like, well, wristbands, whatever. And he said, well, what about masks? And I was like, brilliant. Same thing. So you'll have to have a mask, and then we'll have staff masks and also artist masks, so everybody can be identified as well. So yeah, we're doing every possible thing that we can do besides boiling people before they come in the door.
Yeah, that would work, I guess.
Yeah, it would make you safe, that's for sure. So a reminder that, it's all happening. Basically, it begins a week from tomorrow, right? That's when all the craziness happens. And you've got 3-day festival passes on sale, and then you've got day passes, so if you can only make it to one. But either way, checking this out would be really, really cool. And I know we are going to be kind of marching in a lot of people that are going to be involved in this festival, but it's really cool to have Alvin Williams in studio, one of the comedians that's on the bill. Thank you for getting up early and coming in, dude. We appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely. My pleasure. It's good to see you both, Nic, Big J. I'm very happy to be outside of my living room.
I was going to say, as a performer, what does this mean to you? I imagine it's probably been a while for you to be able to do actual comedy in front of people as well, right?
It's so true, and a lot of it I was able to acclimate to because I was making people wear masks to come to my house before it was cool. Eyes Wide Shut has been out for 21 years, and I pay homage in the best way that I can. But this whole festival, I've known Jen for, has it been 14 years now? I've known Jen since I started my comedy career, and she's been so instrumental in me growing. And I just told her even this morning, I'm like, I'm just so proud of you and proud of this festival and proud to be a part of it because this means so much to Boise, and I know how much it means to her because I know how much it means to me to be here.
Yeah, and tell us your beginnings. How did you start? Why did you want to do stand-up comedy? Why was this something that drew you in?
Well, it's funny. I'm from Chicago originally, but I actually started my comedy career in Boise back during the old Funny Bone days.
Okay.
In in 2007, and I met Jen shortly thereafter. Back then, it was just a hobby that I had at the time. I did it to meet people. I thought it was just a good way to be social. And then like I saw Jen perform, and like she just had this attitude to her. I was like, yeah, like I want to learn from you. And she took me on the road with her, and the rest is really history for me. Like it's been successful.
Awesome.
I'm his comedy mom.
Guys. It's true. And one of the things that I love about the festival, and Jen, I'm not sure if you want to take credit for this, you should, but the podcast row thing is absolutely brilliant because, Alvin, I know one of the things that you've done to keep yourself busy, you've got your podcast that you've been doing, and you'll be, I'm sure, doing some of that stuff from this festival. How important has that been for you to be able to reach an audience in that particular way?
Oh, you have no idea. For me, I was never quite comfortable doing the virtual shows because I was scared of just talking in my room and having people view that.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So this was a way for me to still reach out to my fan base. I created a podcast called The Things I Don't Hate Podcast, which is just code for things that I love. It's a super positive podcast where you can just come on and talk about things that you're passionate about. And I remind artists like how important that they are and that they're loved. And it has been it has grown not only my fan base, but the artists themselves. Like we've been networking in a way where before the podcast, I didn't have the connections that I have now. So it all worked out. But, you know, in order for it to really work, we need to get back on them stages again and make those networks count.
Exactly. And, you know, I think maybe having, you know, obviously the talent that's involved in putting this festival together and all of you guys in the same particular area, that's just going to make for a week's worth of crazy podcasts as well, I'm sure.
Yes,
right?
Yes. That's the part that I'm super excited about because I know how often that people want to interview certain people and just can't get their schedule to coordinate with them. But we'll have 50 comics in the same place at the same time, and podcasters will be able to just, you know, get a bunch of interviews in, and that way you can stagger out your interviews and you can actually go have a life every now and again, and you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think it's a really cool way to stack up your repertoire of interviews, and having so many comics and so many opinions, I think it's just going to be amazing. I can't wait for that part.
That's it's fantastic. And you know, I mean, real question, aside from COVID, how do you feel where comedy is right now in general? Because it just seems like it seems harder a little bit with the culture that's out there right now, and you turn one way and somebody's upset with something you said.
Right.
How has it been for
Are
you?
you talking about cancel culture?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, it's truly. I feel like this is the great reboot. This is the cancel culture will allow comics who really appreciate the craft and really understand where the culture is moving. They will be able to adjust. Whereas your person who's just having a cup of coffee or telling girls at the bar, you know, I'm a comedian too, but they just done one or two open mics, they will fall by the wayside because they don't have the patience that it takes to craft around this difficult culture. It's not that easy to laugh the way it used to be. But also, we are in more demand now than we ever have been, and I think comics really need to leverage this and put out genuinely good content because people want to laugh more than they ever have, and they don't have as many outlets to do it. So now's the time for us to truly prove our worth to society.
Alvin Williams joins us in studio, one of the comics at Idaho Comedy Festival, which is happening next week. It's going to be awesome. And how has, you know, garnering material for you gone with being stuck at home?
Yeah.
Has that been a good source of things, or has it been kind of like, oh my God, I need to get out and do something?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It forces you to write all new material because you can't walk into a place talking about, so I was at my kid's school the other day. Yeah, were you? Were you?
Yeah,
like, were
right,
you really?
right.
You know, were you at the parent-teacher conference? Were you? Or did the teacher text you, your son is awful? And you're like, you know what? I believe you. He's been in my house for days and I'm done. So you have to refocus what people care about hearing. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear about you talking about how bad your job was if they've been out of work for a year and a half.
Right,
so you really got to connect with people on a deeper level. So it's been challenging, but for some reason I've been angry enough to make it work.
I like it. I like it very much. Jen, I know there's a lot of balls in the air. Do you have a schedule yet, Alvin? Do you know when you're going to be on and when you're going to be doing your thing?
Not yet. We're really just trying to see how many people. Well, I should probably let you take this one.
Yeah, move over. Okay. So we should be solidifying the schedule today or tomorrow. It is monumental of a task trying to coordinate this many comedians, and we're trying to make sure that each comic gets more than one spot. We actually added 2 more shows. So I think we're at 28 shows in 3 days, and each of those shows are 90 minutes long. So we've actually partnered with Mad Swede downtown, and we're doing 2 afternoon shows down there so we can get a little bit of off-site and get people downtown just for an afternoon show. But yeah, it's intense trying to coordinate all of it. So between 28 shows, we'll have people on multiple different times. So if you miss somebody on one show, you'll have a chance to see them somewhere else. So you don't have to have that, kind of conflict of, I have to choose this or that depending on what I want to see. So
I love that. So lots of opportunities to see some amazing stand-up comedians. If you haven't a chance, one of the cool things about festivals like this is introducing yourself to people that you have not heard of before. And you have an opportunity to have some really, really cool big-name comics that are coming into town, and a chance for you to expand your horizons a little bit and learn to laugh with somebody that you haven't heard of before. And it's a beautiful place to do all this stuff and showcase some incredible talent. Let's hit up the socials. What's the best place to go to get a hold of Alvin? If you want to follow you on social media, where do we want to go?
Sure. Follow me on Instagram at Comic Alvin Williams, or check out my podcast at thingsidon'thate.com.
Beautiful. And Jen, if we want to follow the festival, what's the best place to do that?
So you can go to idahocomedyfest.com. All of the socials are linked there. And then we're on Instagram at Lounge Boise. And then also, I think that's it. If you just go to idahocomedyfest.com, grab your tickets.
Yes.
And then also you can get on all our socials right there.
3-day passes, 1-day passes available now. And we're going to give you a chance to win some over the course of the next week as well. And getting ready for that big kickoff party. I know you got nothing but planning to do over the next week. So thank you for clearing out some time. And trust me, we're going to be talking a lot more about this and visiting with a lot more people involved with the festival as well as we get closer. Thank you guys very much for coming in. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having us.
Morning